It looked like it's happening. Angel Reese is asking out of Chicago already.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums.
Angel Reese recently told the Chicago Tribune she refuses to settle for another disappointing season and urged the Sky to surround her with the league's top talent. But the irony is hard to miss. She leads the league in turnovers despite missing games, still struggles to finish at the rim, and just earned herself a suspension. While Reese calls for an overhaul of her teammates, it might be her future that Chicago needs to reconsider, raising the question, is she the WNBA's biggest letdown? Compared to Caitlin Clark, the rising baby goat, or just the league's baby giraffe?
Bringing me these players. I want the best of the best. I want the upper echelon.
Angel Reese is fed up. She's tired of the losing. She's tired of being the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. She is fed up with the Chicago Sky, and it looks like Angel Reese wants out.
Imagine demanding your teammates be replaced, only to become the very player your own franchise might be ready to cut loose. That's the corner Angel Reese backed herself into after telling the Chicago Tribune she wouldn't settle for another year like this one, insisting that good players and great players were a non-negotiable part of her future in Chicago. Instead of sounding like a franchise cornerstone ready to grow with her team, Reese came across more like a brat eager to gut her roster. On the record,
Angel Reese had to say, I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. Oh boy. Reese told the Tribune, we have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year. Overhaul this roster.
The problem is that interview didn't just ruffle a few feathers. It reportedly infuriated teammates and veterans across the league, to the point where a locker room sit-down had to be organized just to deal with the fallout. That's not the sign of a healthy team. That's damage control. And when a player who hasn't even proven herself yet forces half the roster into a meeting because of her mouth, it's not leadership, it's dysfunction.
So it's that multiple lead sources told Front Office Sports that the entire team has seen Angel Reese comments that teammates are unhappy with the direct attacks. A team meeting is planned at which players are expected to address Reese directly.
Of all Reese's remarks, the ugliest shot came at Courtney Vandersloot, who was sidelined for the season with an ACL injury. Reese dismissed her in blunt terms, implying she was too old to be part of the Sky's present or future, a reckless swipe at a respected veteran point guard with championship pedigree and one of the best floor generals the league has ever seen. And in doing so, Reese didn't just disrespect Vandersloot. She risked alienating veterans across the WNBA who know she's earned every ounce of respect.
You can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh damn. It's all right, Courtney. It's all right.
And here's the real irony. The Chicago front office had already bent over backward to build around Reese, even giving up Sonia Citron, who's in the thick of the Rookie of the Year race, and already an all-star in her first season, to bring in Ariel Atkins as proven talent. That was supposed to be the win-now move Reese wanted, yet instead of showing gratitude, she dismissed the staff and roster as not good enough, which rings hollow when the team literally sacrificed a potential franchise. Cornerstone just to satisfy her.
It is looking spooky in Chicago. Instead of Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Berman or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading them to the leading the playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky roster with WNBA championship experience. We are aware of it, Marsh stated. We are addressing.
It would have been bad enough if Reese had only taken shots at the veterans, but she didn't stop there. She even threw shade at younger teammates like Haley Van Lith, suggesting the entire roster was either too old, too average, or too soft. The result was a locker room where veterans felt insulted, younger players felt dismissed, and the one player meant to unite the team instead became the common enemy, with Reese's supposed rallying cry turning all the frustration squarely back on her.
We need great players, and I don't know what that will attract that. Maybe the practice facility will attract that. We'll see. But I think the priority is being able to convince free agents that this is an organization that is going in the right direction. I think, honestly, it would be a leap of faith for a great player to come here and show that this is something that they want to be a part of, and we can bring that championship mentality. A leap of faith to think that a great player would want to come to Chicago. Oh, boy.
And when you stack all of this against Reese's on-court impact, it's easy to see why her power play collapsed. If you're going to place yourself above the rest of the roster, you need to dominate. Yet instead, she became the one out of sync, the piece that didn't fit into the very system she wanted to reshape. In truth, the vision she pushed may have only highlighted what Chicago didn't want to admit. Their biggest problem might not be the roster she criticized, but Reese herself. And the sting is sharper, knowing that while she kept demanding upgrades and great players, she couldn't even do the most basic thing on the floor: protect the basketball.
Hey, it's not all her fault. Her teammates stink. They gotta catch that, right? Right! Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby, put down the butter. Butter pecan! Hey! Time of the year's the best. You got pumpkin spice football and Angel Reese layups. Bang! Final play of the game, Angel Reese clutch Gene. Womp, womp, womp. That's my Barbie.
What the very player demanding a roster overhaul was actually the one holding her team back. That's the case with Angel Reese, who on paper posts a respectable 14 to 15 points per game with double-digit rebounds. But the deeper numbers tell a different story. She leads the entire WNBA in turnovers despite missing several weeks to injury. Think about that. Fewer minutes than most stars, yet more giveaways than anyone else. And that's not dominance. That's careless basketball.
20% of the time, Angel Reese gets her shot blocked inside of 9 feet. And 100% of the time, she's doggy doo-doo. Burn! To the lady in orange. Uh-oh, you're out. Simon didn't say. 101 turnovers in 26 games for our 2K cover. She's a stat stuffer. Burn! At least she always brings the boom. I'll see you tomorrow night. Burn!
Turnovers can be excused when they come from a player forcing the action, but with Reese they signaled something deeper: impatience, poor decision-making, and a lack of composure under pressure. And the problems didn't end there, as discipline became another red flag, with Reese jawing at referees, losing focus, and piling up technical fouls until she hit her 8th of the season, triggering an automatic one-game suspension, a troubling milestone for someone expected to be a franchise cornerstone.
And watching the bottom of your screen, the contact by Reese.
You can see Angel's right hand got Aaliyah Edwards on the head. And if they do, Lisa, I'm okay with that too, because I think you have to officiate these teams very tightly.
So it'll be a technical foul on Angel.
That suspension didn't come on some random Tuesday. It landed right before a highly anticipated showdown with the Indiana Fever, a rivalry the league had hyped and fans had circled for weeks. Instead of taking the court, Reese sidelined herself not because of injury or rest, but for striking Aaliyah Edwards in the head during a rebound battle. And whether or not you think it was intentional, the referee saw enough to call it, and the league had no choice but to enforce it, turning the incident into more than a personal embarrassment. It was a direct blow to her own team at the worst possible time.
Angel Reese, oh damn, has been assessed with 8 technical fouls, and she will be suspended for Friday game unless it is rescinded. And I'm telling you right now, look, he said it best, her attitude, that mug ain't getting rescinded. transcendent Angel Reese has struck out again.
The irony is impossible to miss. The Chicago Sky, a team supposedly built around Reese, often looked more cohesive and energized when she wasn't on the floor. The ball moved with rhythm, the defense tightened, and sometimes even pulled out wins without her, which flips the definition of a star on its head. Because instead of elevating her team's ceiling, Reese's absence sometimes raised it, leaving fans to wonder if she was less a foundation for the future and more an anchor dragging them down. After all, what could our 15 points and 12 rebounds when they're buried under sloppy turnovers, constant arguments with referees, and suspensions in critical games, making her look less like a savior and more like a liability when it mattered most?
Now, how many players are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about Courtney Vandersloot? Are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about her current teammates? How many players are going to say, oh yeah, I want to play with that player who has no problem throwing me under the bus with 3 games to go? I want to play with that. Maybe not many.
Indiana Fever destroyed the Chicago Sky in Indianapolis on Saturday. Guess who wasn't there? Angel Reese. Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis, and her coach came out and said something about, she's just focused on her rehab right now, and, she's day to day. We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day to day, and Angel Reese has disappeared.
I mean, I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, they're resilient, they're connected. They pull for each other. They enjoy one another. They celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I mean, I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
What is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now. And this will be a 3rd straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in games, where she just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
Nothing but a mystery surrounds Angel Reese. Angel Reese has taken this season off to focus on her off-court endeavors and to avoid these losses that the Chicago Sky are accumulating, to avoid them appearing on her resume. Angel Reese doesn't really care about basketball.